About a month ago, Marvel released Punisher issue number 1, a new comic book series written by Jason Aaron that was going to delve into the character of Frank Castle as the Punisher if he were to be hired by the high-class assassination cult, The Hand. Issue number 1 was met with mid to high praise from a multitude of different readers. I mean, hell, even I sang its praises and recognized that there were some really great action scenes, beautiful artwork, and an interesting story that got me to buy issue number 2. And that's exactly where I screwed up. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Max, and today we are going to be taking a deeper look at Punisher issue number 2 and going into detail about why this book is potentially the worst Punisher comic I have ever read.
We have important work to do.
Now, for some context, and as y'all have probably heard, the Punisher logo itself has been the point of recent controversy in the news lately, with journalists and media outlets writing statements like, "Is the Punisher logo a hate symbol?" and "Marvel officially changes controversial Punisher logo." Even websites like Wikipedia have this statement on the Punisher's main page, following the widespread appropriation of this logo by white supremacists and the far right.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
It was officially retired from active use by Marvel Entertainment in 2022, replaced by a new horned skull motif inspired by the Japanese mythological demon Oni. Speaking of that new Punisher logo, regardless of how you feel about the original skull and its appropriation, this bastardization of a logo looks just like a joke. But even with all the controversy, I chose to look past all of the news headlines and nonsense about the logo so that I could actually read this series and come to a conclusive opinion for myself. But after reading issue number 2, I'm out.
I'm out.
Though the issue doesn't inherently destroy the old logo, they sure as hell destroy literally everything else about Frank Castle and his origin. And I'm talking immediately as you open this book. Within the first 2 pages, Jason Aaron successfully mutilates the entire premise and history behind the character of the Punisher. Real quick, if you are enjoying this video, please consider liking and subscribing and catching me on my live show every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific. Now, let's get right into it. We open in a therapist's office with an image of Frank's open backpack and its contents spread across the desk. These panels depict disturbing imagery that Frank has sketched. People on fire, people being shot through the head, and lots of Punisher skulls. We also see controversial books like The Gallery of War Wounds and The Illustrated History of Beheadings. Now, if you've already caught on, it's apparent what Marvel and Jason Aaron are doing, but we'll continue. The dialogue within these panels is from Frank's inner monologue as a 12-year-old sitting in this office talking about the roadkill he brings home, the litany of weapons he keeps concealed, and the man that he's already killed that no one knows about. And then we get the full-page reveal of 12-year-old Frank Castle, and of course, he's wearing a Captain America shirt. This is character assassination at its finest. Very simply, Frank Castle, before becoming the Punisher, was a man whose family was killed in the crossfire of a gang war, to which he then vowed himself to a lifetime of vengeance towards crime. But this completely retcons Frank Castle's childhood and makes him out to be this raging psychopathic Columbine kid. One of the reasons why the Punisher works as a character and as an anti-hero is because of the juxtaposition between Frank Castle the man and his persona as the Punisher. Frank being a noble, highly decorated Marine Corps captain, loving father and husband, and the Punisher being a revenge-driven vigilante and lost soul. But by taking away Frank's agency and introducing this sociopathic behavior as always part of his character, you are left with a man who has always been a corrupt, evil murderer.
Okay, guys. My gut is telling me to throw this book in the trash.
Well,
It's
yeah.
absolute nonsense.
Oh, but we're not just done there, folks, because we're then shown a scene from Frank's childhood as he walks the streets of New York, where he is approached by the leader of the ninja assassin cult, The Hand. This whole exchange insinuates that Frank has been this preordained godlike king of killers from day one of his existence. once again removing all agency from the character and leaving him as a shallow husk of a man, solidifying him as nothing more than a predetermined villain, with no motivation, no hero's journey, and no pivotal decision-making moment that created the Punisher. And just like Jason Aaron made Frank the king of killers in this assassination cult, it looks like Jason is the king of his own assassination cult called Marvel, one that has killed the likes of Thor, She-Hulk, and now the Punisher.
This just keeps getting better and better.
But why would Frank be considered as the king of killers? After all, there are literally thousands of different characters that could have been used from the Marvel Universe. So why him? Well, in a discussion between the leader of the Hand and Frank, she states, "I have been searching for the next incarnation, but one land has shown its propensity for violence beyond all others, from genocide to slavery to shopping mall shootings. In today's world, if you seek the king of killers, you look to America." Of fucking course, America, the land of killers, right? Sorry, Jason, but have you ever actually done the research of the top 10 countries with the highest homicide rates? Cause you sure as hell won't find America on there. You ever heard of El Salvador? How about Honduras? But it's not like this is any surprise, considering that Frank wears the stars and stripes on his shirt as a kid in support of Captain America. Jason literally can't help himself from writing this into the comic.
You stupid, ignorant son of a bitch, dumb bastard! Jesus Christ, I've met some dumb bastards in my time, but you outdo them all. Get over there!
And don't even get me started on the significance of the cover of this book. The bloody, broken, dying body of Frank Castle crawling away from and abandoning the evil alt-right associated Punisher logo. Because what we see here is essentially Marvel trying to crawl away from the logo they so desperately want to cancel, but know that they will never be able to get rid of, even as their sales continually, metaphorically, bleed out.
Once you find out their MO, then they just keep repeating their crime in every gruesome creative homicide.
You see, it wasn't good enough to just change Frank's logo. No, they had to make him into an America-loving deranged lunatic. And trust me, this is their way of telling the Punisher fans like you and like me that if you like the Punisher, you essentially like mass-murdering extremists. And let me be very clear here. This is the perfect scheme for Marvel to disassociate themselves entirely from Frank by dictating that he was always just some sociopathic, homicidal villain. They wanted to make him so unlikable that no one could relate to him or his plight. Well, they've done a bang-up job there, because not only am I not going to buy this book anymore, but they have effectively made me go back into my old back issues of The Punisher and enjoy the hell out of them even more. Which, by the way, if you're watching and you want a great Punisher story, read Punisher issue 94 and 95 and thank me later. Well, that about does it for this video, but let me know what y'all think about this comic book in the comments section below. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.